Hello, welcome to the channel. Thanks for joining us. Today I want to do a review on the Hammerhead Karoo. I've had it a little while. I've had it since last year, end of last year. I bought it in the Black Friday sale. So I've had it for a fair few months and had time to try it out and see, giving me thoughts on it. And there's a new Karoo coming out soon. I don't know when. Maybe it's a few months. We're not really sure. There's been rumours about it for a while. When it's going to come out, nobody really knows. So only time will tell. We'll see when that's going to come out and what that's going to be like. Plus points, I think, with the Karoo, it's really good how they keep supporting and adding new features to it. And even though the new Karoo 2 has been announced, they're still doing updates to the Karoo 1, still supporting it. And they're actually going to do a major update soon, apparently, some kind of big overhaul with it. So once they do the overhaul, because I did think about leaving this review until they did that overhaul, the new updates that's coming soon. I thought I would wait until that was finished before doing this review, but I thought I'll just do this review first, and then I can always do an extra review, like a add-on review of what of the new, what it looks like. And I think it's because I think by what they're saying, I think it's going to be more aesthetic. It's going to be more, the look of it and stuff. I think they're going to change completely how it looks and how it works in that sense. So we'll see. Time will tell. We'll see what happens. But in the meantime, I thought I'd do a review on the Karoo so far, my thoughts on it using it the last few months. So yeah, get stuck in there right now. So the Karoo comes in this nice little box. I think it's quite a smart box when you get it. So yeah, you get in the box, you get instructions, cleaning cloth, Karoo itself, and you also get some Allen keys there to attach it to your bike. And you do get a mount as well, but I have mounts actually on my bike obviously, so it's not there. And I do have an additional mount which I use for my road bike, because this actually is compatible with a lot of mounts, like the same kind of foot as the Garmin, as you can see on the back. So it's quite a universal kind of mount. So that's what you get when you get the package. I've had this for a little while, as I said. got this last year, so I'll just switch that on. The Karoo is quite a chunky unit. It's one of the things that people don't actually like about it. They say it's a bit too thick, too big. But personally, I don't think it is. I think it's nice to have that bigger screen. I think it's one of the plus sides to the Karoo, is having that bigger screen. It's nice to have that sort of that viewing area, if you like, when you're out on your bike. As you can see at the size of my hand there, it's quite a big unit, quite a chunky unit. It's got some buttons at the side, texture buttons as well, so you can easily control the Karoo when you're out, even with gloves on. But as you can see, it's quite a big chunky fella. And some people have had problems where the foot has failed on the Karoo. I've never had any problems, thankfully, touch wood. But you definitely need to put the lanyard on. This comes in the box, but it's not connected, and you've got to take the bolt out and put it on. Definitely worth putting on, because then if these feet here at the sides, if this snaps off, that would help protect it. But it's one of the things where I think also design fault with this. I think this lanyard really should have been anchored to a separate area, like say down here or something, so that if this fails completely, it's okay if just this snaps at the side, if the feet at the side here break, the little tabs. But if the whole foot breaks off, the whole bottom comes off, which I think it has happened to a few people, then that's not going to be no use, because that would come off with it. So I think this should be connected to a different area. So you've got your Karoo dashboard here. You've got basically, let's hope you can see it okay there. You've got your settings. So in your settings there, you've got your Strava Live segments. You can set them up in Strava, and it'll update them to the Karoo automatically. Obviously you've got a Hammerhead Karoo account, you've got your profile, you've got your connected services. Your connected services is basically stuff like Strava and Ride with the GPS, because when you finish your ride, and it automatically uploads your ride to Strava. When you get back in the house, it connects up to the Wi-Fi automatically and uploads your ride to Strava or Ride with GPS or whatever connected service you have with it. So that's a cracking little function. You've got your bike. Yep, let's go. Oh yeah, I've hit that by mistake. Yeah, not the right one. So you've got your bikes. So you can add your bikes in there. I've just got road bike and mountain bike on there, but of course you can add as many as you want. You can be specific about makes of bike and stuff on there if you wanted to. training zones on there. You've got turn by turn direction, so you can have it always on or on cue. I have it on cue, so basically when you know it's coming to a turn in direction, it'll pop up on the screen and tell you. And obviously your Wi-Fi and your sensors and stuff, like, you know, like your power meters and things. Obviously I've just got built-in GPS because I don't have any sensors on my bike. Bit of an old skill really. You've got your Bluetooth audio. One of the things that people complain about with the Karoo is the fact that it has no audio, has no beeping or screeching sound like what you get with the Garmin. So you don't know, you know, it doesn't pop up and screech at you like the Garmin would to tell you that there's a turn by turn, or a turn coming up I should say. But that's something that doesn't bother me at all. I mean, it's a big screen, it's a huge screen, so when a notification pops up, you do notice along the bottom there, it just pops up with a big yellow bar, and you know, it does tell you where you sort of where you need to turn. And I've never had an issue with that. I've never had problems with it. I've never sort of missed a turn because it hasn't gives a screeching sound. Once you see that big yellow bar pop along the bottom notification, you know, you soon notice that, you know, well, this is time to turn. You can get, it's got the Bluetooth audio, because you can get little Bluetooth speakers. I know of one lad who bought one on eBay for £2 or £3. It has like an 8-hour battery life, his little speaker, and it's tiny and it just clips to his jacket. And you know, so you can set that with the Bluetooth audio. Cellular data, you can put a SIM card in this now as well, which you can use for live tracking. And you've obviously, you know, live map updates. You know, if you want to do live routing, you can use the cellular data for that. And then your date time and display and location and live tracking's there. So the live tracking, basically, what you do with the live tracking, it's a really good feature. It's one of those features which, to be honest with you, I thought I would never use. And when they introduced it, I thought, well, what do you use that for? But what it does is, when you set up for a ride, you know, if I click that, just so if I turn that off, I've put that on there, and then, oh, there's a problem there. I don't know why there's a problem, because it does work anyway. But anyway, what it does is it basically, with the live tracking, it's maybe not good, no signal or something, but the live tracking does actually work fine. It works great. What happens is when you click on the live tracking, what it does is it sends. Oh, hold on, maybe there could be a problem there. Like, I think I've got Wi-Fi turned off. Turn the Wi-Fi off. Let's just connect the Wi-Fi at the top there now. Let's have another go. Let's have another go. That's where it was. Yeah, I had turned the Wi-Fi off by mistake. I was going to say, because it always works. So anyway, you click on live track, and what it does there, it basically sends an email to your email address, and you can click on that email, and that email will bring up a map, and it'll show you exactly where you're on in real time. Really good for, you know, if you've got somebody at home who wants to know where you are. The other day I went on a 100-mile bike ride, and Katie was at home, and she can see exactly where I was at. She could keep an eye on us, you know, gives her a bit of peace of mind. And then, you know, she knew exactly when I was coming back. So when I was coming back, she was standing at the door waiting for us, you know, and she could have a meal on the table if she wanted to, you know, that kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying Katie always puts a meal on the table, just come back from a ride, but you know, if she wanted to, you know. So it's just a nice little feature to have, and it's something that I didn't think I would use, but I do use. And then you've got your side buttons where you can have notifications of your side buttons on the side. And then system update is a handy little thing, because on here they just do updates all the time. They're always, you know, you can check for an update. There's no update at the moment, but they're doing updates every 2 weeks, which I think is one of the strong points with the Karoo. They are doing as I said in the introduction there, they are doing a big update soon. They're doing a update for, like, I think it's more for the appearance, I think, by what I read. They're going to do a big overhaul and change how it looks and how it works. So that should be very interesting when that comes out. In your activities, you've got a list. Oh, I've gone too far. In your list of activities, you've got all the activities that you've done recently. You know, your various rides that you've done, and your routes. You've got your different routes in there. These are all your recent routes. You can see my routes I've been doing there. You can search within your route. You click the little magnifying glass. You can change how it looks. You can have it just a line based or more graphical based, and you can add a route by clicking the plus button there. You can make your own route up within Prof or workouts here. If you want to use workouts, I don't use it, but if you wanted to, you can use it. You can click up to a site, Training Peaks, and set up a workout. I've never really used that, so I don't know exactly how that works. Profiles where you basically set up your own profile. You know how you want this, how you want it to look, how you want the screen to look, how you want it set out. So you can see there you've got. On mine, I've got my distance, my speed there. My current grade, etc. My maps. And these are just demo screens that I've put on to show you on here. So you can easily change the different values in the fields. If you click on it, you've then got all your different settings in here, and within each one you've got different sub categories as well. In the speed, you've got your speed, your average speed, max speed, and then of course if I go back there, you've got your distance. You've got your distance to destination, distance next turn, which is obviously very handy when you're doing your navigation. Your heart rate, in there for your heart rate monitor, different settings in there. You've got your cadence, different settings in your cadence. I don't have a cadence there monitor on my bike, but that's in there. Your power, for your power meters, different settings within there. So each one of these settings has a different category as well. You've got quite a few different options to choose from there. Current elevation, ascent, descent, current grade, vertical speed, minimum elevation, maximum elevation. And then miscellaneous. In the miscellaneous, you've got stuff like your battery and your temperature and stuff in there. So and all this can be changed. You can see there I've got lap speed and average speed, and I've got a big one there with speed. I could click on that and I could change that to distance. Let's have that as distance. So I'll go back. I use my other hand, and so there I've changed it. And I click just a distance. Distance. There we go. So I've got distance on there now. So you can easily mess around with that to the profile you want, and you can change the look out of it, the view of it, how it looks, the look of it, I should say. You can change these to have what data you've got on the screen, each screen. You can change the gradient there. You can go through different settings to have however you want it. So you've got a multitude of different settings that you can set up really and have the way you want it to look. You can have the map on its own. You can have the map with data on the bottom. It's entirely up to yourself really how you want it to set up. And then you can also add screens as well. If you long press, you can go and you can add another screen. So I just want to let this go at the moment. There we go. So I can say, well, I want that to be that, or that to have that, or graphs. One of the things I don't like about this, if I'm on Imperial, if I go back to the settings, units. So we've got units. I've got to set Imperial because I do miles, I don't do kilometers. But if I'm on miles, then I cannot have Celsius for temperature. It won't let you. You've got to have Fahrenheit. So that's a little bug I don't like. Another thing I don't like is, I hope they change that, and I did request them to change that, and they are pretty good for changing things. So let's hope they do. Is if I go back to profile, you can see there. I think this text here is too small. Where it says speed, miles per hour, and current grade, I think that's too small. I've got that zoomed in quite close there, but you can see there, if it's on your bike like that, you can see the numbers fine, but you can see the text gets very small. I think it's too small. I think it should be bigger, and it was big originally, and they did an update and made it smaller for some reason. I don't know why, considering the size of the screen, it's huge, and they don't need to make it that small. So yes, it's a really good unit. I've had no problems with it at all. Battery life, recently I did a 100-mile bike ride, and I had no problems at all with it really. I did 8 hours, nearly 8 hours riding with it, and I got back and had 30% battery life left, so I think that's pretty good. And I know somebody who did 200 miles and got back and had 30% battery life left. One of the things I did to keep my battery going was I just kind of had the screen turned off now and again when I was on long stretches. You know, I just click the screen and knock it off like that, and then when I put it back on, I remembered where I was at and carried on. So, you know, that's probably saved a bit of battery. So, you know, like long stretches of empty mule and riding along, I didn't need to have it on, so I just turned off and then click it on when I wanted to, and that seemed to save the battery. So I've had no problems at all. And that was an 8 hour battery, 8 hour ride, and I still had 30% left life when I got back. But some people have had problems with the battery life, you know, so it's maybe different if you've got sensors attached, you know, if you've got you know, like power meters and stuff, maybe that drains the battery more. And also, when I did my 100-mile bike ride, I did have cellular data on. I did have mobile data on for the live tracking, and that does use more data as well, because obviously it's sending out a signal all the time for the live tracking, and it still managed to absolutely fine. I've got a screensaver on my screen as well. I bought a screensaver. You can't even tell there really, but a couple of pounds off eBay just to keep the screen good. It does have a strong screen apparently, but as with all these kind of devices and phones, you never know how strong they actually are. But yeah, it's a cracking unit. I've never had any problems with it. It's served as well, and like I say, it updates constantly, and Hammerhead are always supporting it. The Karoo 2 is going to be coming out very soon apparently, so it'll be interesting to see what differences they have on there. But I've never had any issues with this. I've never been using it and thought, you know, this is getting on my nerves or anything like that. Just like I say, them few little things I said about the size of the text, which is a temporary thing I think, because they're probably going to change that, and the Fahrenheit thing, the Celsius and Fahrenheit. That's another thing which is a bit of a bugbear for us, which hopefully they'll change that soon as well. But it's a very versatile bit of kit. It's Android based, so you know, some people have actually side-loaded apps on here as well, which I've never tried to do yet. So yeah, I cannot really fault this at all. I can't really say anything bad about it. It's a cracking piece of kit. It really is. It's a proper game changer, I think. I had a Garmin 800, and this is like night and day compared to that. I mean, for getting routes on here, you know, you basically add a route on the dashboard, a Karoo dashboard. I mean, that could do a little bit of work. The Karoo dashboard's nothing special. The route planner on the Karoo dashboard is very, very basic. You really want to use something like Ride with GPS, which then you can easily import the routes from Ride with GPS into the Karoo dashboard. That's very easy to do. Just copy the URL of the website across, of the route across, and that works fine. And there's an app available for browsers which you can use as well. So yeah, the dashboard's nothing special. Hopefully they'll update that when they do update again. Hopefully they're going to update the Karoo on the dashboard. That'll be nice. But when you basically add a route to the Karoo dashboard, you turn the Karoo on in the morning before you go on your route. It automatically downloads it. You know, you don't have to do anything. As you switch this on, it then downloads the routes. So if you've added a route the night before, it downloads the route and it's ready for the use. Well, the Garmin, when I had the Garmin, it was a right pain. I had to just plug it in the computer and use Basecamp and all sorts of palaver to get a route on. This just does it all for you, easily as anything. And obviously upload to Strava when you get back as well. It just uploads itself. You know, you come back in, the Wi-Fi turns on and uploads itself. So yeah, really, really good unit. Definitely recommend it. Absolutely brilliant. So yeah, okay, well, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to see more videos, and take care on the roads, and I'll still see you soon. Bye bye.